Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the Water Bearer podcast. So, we are in full swing, season 10. So, in case you don't know, this season is called Wild Card. And instead of focusing on the zodiac signs from the jump, we're saving it towards the end of the episode and we're not revealing the person's sign. So, each guest sign, we're going to talk about that a little bit towards the end of the show. So, if it's your first time, welcome. If you've been here since day one, again, welcome to the Water Bearer podcast, and so glad to have you here. And while you're here, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and join the Drip family. Sharing is caring, but subscribing is thriving. So, hey, go ahead and hit that notification bell too while you're at it once you subscribe so that you don't miss any content that drops on the channel. And you can catch the Drip every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So all of these episodes this season are going to be live. So we're going all the way through April 2nd for this particular season. And if you're not already doing so, you can follow me on these social media platforms on Instagram at Poetic, and that's PEAUXETIC. And then TikTok, you can follow me there too, and that's Poetic with the number 7 at the end. So that's PEAUXETIC and then the number 7. And my guest tonight, Will Latimer, you can follow him on social media as well on IG, and that's at She Will for Will, and that's all together. And then on TikTok, you can follow him at Will Willie. So I'm going to spell that one out for you. So it's WHILL and then WHILLIE. So you can follow him there. So I contacted Will because I had seen, we follow each other on TikTok. And so I had seen a lot of the things he was posting. I think the first thing I saw was a music review. And so I felt like we share a lot of the same musical tastes. So I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then the next thing I knew, he was posting something about events. And so at first I thought he was like helping out with it, but then I realized, oh no, this is his company. This is his events company. So I was like, wow, okay, this is a person who, obviously wears many hats, and I definitely wanted to get him on for this season. So I'm so glad that he accepted. So Will Latimer, he's a data analyst by profession, as well as a hip hop artist and also a producer known as She Will for Will. He is also the founder of Club Will Entertainment, which is a creative events company serving the Carolinas. And he's passionate about blending creativity and business to build multiple income streams. Hey, I'm not mad at that. Multiple income streams is always good. So before I bring Will out, I will say this episode is particularly interesting for me because the past 4 episodes leading up to this one, I knew the guest's birthday, each of those guests. So I have no idea when Will's birthday is. And I kind of am excited about that because it'll be interesting to see what's his sign and his birthday as we get towards the end of the show. But without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring Will out to join us.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Will? How's it going, man?
I'm good, man. How about you?
I'm good. I can't complain. Man. Thank you again for agreeing to be on the show. Like I tell people all the time, I know everybody's busy. I know you in particular are very busy from your posts that I see. So I don't take it for granted that you said yes and that you would come on and be on the podcast.
Yeah, man. Of course. I appreciate you having me. And I used to be a podcaster. That was one of the things I kind of let go along the way. But yeah, for about 2 to 3 years, about 2017, 2018 through 2021-ish.
Really? Okay.
Friend of mine from college and I had a podcast, so I get it how it is and everything.
Yeah.
I was excited to do it.
Oh, so what was your podcast about before that you used to do?
So my friend, it was like his podcast, and I was like the featured guest.
Okay, I got you.
So it was called The Kelly Show because his name is Eric Kelly. So we would do kind of like music, pop culture, things of that nature. And like I said, we did it weekly for a couple years, and then COVID happened, and that kind of, because we were recording in person, because he worked at a radio station in Charlotte, so we would kind of sneak in the station. So
and record in there.
So after that, we kind of had to do the virtual thing, and it didn't really have the same energy because we were used to doing the face to face, and it just kind of phased out over time. So
okay. Yeah, I can understand that because the face to face energy is definitely nice. I feel like sometimes even doing this is a little bit of a catch-22 because get a chance to connect with people like yourself who aren't in Texas where I am. But at the same time, nothing beats that in-person chemistry. So I can understand that.
Yeah. And I will say now I think it's a little bit easier to do the virtual because, the internet speeds and everything are better. A lot of these like apps are kind of better now.
Yeah.
In 2020 when, Zoom was first, got popping. So I think now it's a lot easier to do it without like that kind of like, okay, wait for them to say something. Are they waiting on
right,
me?
the delay, right. Feel like you're doing the little Kim on them, like, okay, which way we going? Yeah, no, I feel you. Wow, so that's interesting. So have you ever thought about starting up another podcast of your own or even maybe restarting that one?
I definitely have. It's like I want to. I have the itch to do it.
Okay.
It's just, do I have the time to do it?
Gotcha.
That's kind of the big thing. And then, I mean, I'm sure you know this is, it's one thing to do the podcast, but the promoting it and all of that is a whole other life.
Beast. Yeah.
So it's like, if I do it, I want to be able to, make that full commitment to it. And right now I'm like, I just don't know. I don't think I have the capacity to do it.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair. I totally understand that. And so I'm curious, how did you get into well, we'll start with the music first. So I know that you're a hip hop artist and I listen to your music too. Your music is definitely jamming. So I was definitely feeling the music. Oh yeah, no doubt. And then you produce as well. So how did you get into both of those things? Was it kind of at the same time or did one happen before the other?
So I started writing music first. Probably around the age of, I think I was like 9. But so I have siblings, but all of my siblings are much older than I am. Like my closest sibling in age. So I'm 32, 33. I'm 33. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I just had a birthday, so I feel like I find myself doing the same thing. So I get it.
And my brother is 45, so that's my closest sibling in age. And he wasn't in the house. He was a brother on my dad's side. So I have siblings, but at the same time, I'm kind of an only child, or I have only child tendencies, I'll say. So I say all that to say I kind of got into music and writing music just because I had a lot of time by myself as a kid when I was at home. So I kind of just started listening to music, and I don't know, the writing aspect of it was just interesting to me. So I started doing that. I was in marching band. I got in marching band probably like age 12, 13 or so. And then I started messing around with actually making beats around age 15. So this is probably 07-ish. I started making beats just because, I was writing stuff, but I didn't know where to get beats at the time. And I was like, I already, just because of band, and know a little bit about music. So started making beats from there, and then just kind of just kept doing it. It was just something I kind of always came back to, doing music. So that's kind of my musical story in a nutshell.
Okay. And so what instrument did you play in band?
So I mainly played bass drum, but I played pretty much all the percussion instruments. So
I knew it. I didn't want to assume, but in my head I was like, it was percussion. It's funny you say that because I have a similar. I never rapped or wrote music or anything like that, but I was also a percussionist in band. And I feel like it's one of those things like you recognize, I guess, kind of like-minded people. Because I was thinking, I think it probably was percussion, but I didn't want to say that and then be wrong. So
yeah, you want it.
Okay. That's what's up. Okay. And so, so you just started writing and then, producing yourself. Now, how did you come up with the name? I think that's a dope producer name. How did you come up with She Will for Will?
So this is probably like my fourth or fifth name.
Really?
So I didn't have a name for the longest time because I was like 9 or 10. I didn't know about coming up with a name.
Okay.
I think the first name I had was like Lil Will or something like that. And then I found out there was a rapper named Lil Will, so cross that out. I think like age 15-ish, that was like the first time one of my friends had like a microphone so we could actually record stuff, which is another reason I was like, oh, I got to start making beats. Around age 15, the first name I like actually rapped under was Pyro, which is like, fire.
Okay.
So it was Pyro for a while. Then around college, like every few years in life, I kind of just reinvented. So then I got to college and I took like a class on like Greek mythology or something like that. And then I learned about Apollo, who was the god of music in Greek mythology. So I was like, okay, I'll be Apollo. So during college, I was Apollo. And honestly, the only reason I became She Will for Will is, so if you remember the Drake and Lil Wayne song, She Will.
Yep.
So I
used that on one of the promos. Actually, that's funny you say that. Yeah, I used that beat.
Okay, so I made that my Twitter name. This was back like 2012, 2013 when like I don't know if you were on Twitter at the time, but like kind of that Black Twitter era when kind of
when it really popped off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where like around the campus and everything, and even after college, people would just call me She Will for Will. So at that point, I was like, I'm just going to change my artist name to She Will for Will, since that's kind of what people know me as anyway. And so I've left it alone since then.
So you'd say that She Will for Will is permanent, or at least for now?
Yeah, for now. I'm thinking about doing like a different moniker, maybe for some side projects. Just because sometimes, like, I like the fact that She Will for Will is kind of like catches people's attention, but also I'm like, if I want to do some other stuff, this, She Will for Will may be a little too provocative for that.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so kind of like a little like an alias. Name. Okay. That's what's up. Okay, that's dope. And so, how did you get into the creative events space? Because that's really interesting to me. I was like, that's so cool. I was like, how do you even start?
Yeah. So I would say, like, maybe not always, but like for a long time have just been like big on like trying to have multiple streams of income, or just being able to have like side money, so that way it's not like, ooh, I gotta depend on this job for everything. Like that's like, even when I was younger and first working, like I've been at different companies, whether like it was a store that got bought out, or I've worked at a company and I didn't really like the job, but I kind of needed the job. So after a while, I was like, around my early 20s, I was kind of like, I need to like really start thinking about, okay, how can I have extra money coming in? Just even if it's a little bit on the side, just so that way, in case something happens, I can have something else to kind of lean on for a little while.
Right.
So I say that to say, like, I sell beats, and that's kind of been like something I've been doing like off and on. So pretty much I was like focused on that up until about like pandemic time. It was kind of booming because everybody had the stimulus money. So that like 2020, 2021 were like two of the best years I had selling beats. And then around 22-ish, 23, money started drying up. The inflation was like really starting to kick in. So people weren't buying beats as much. So I was like, okay, I need to figure out something else to do to try to like make extra income. So my she's my fiance now, but my girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
She
Well, congratulations.
followed or found somebody on TikTok. Like I guess she was just scrolling and found a guy who did like photo booth setups, drop offs, and everything. So we
Okay.
had kind of discussed that, but she wasn't quite ready to jump in on that. And I was like, well, at the time, which I have a photo booth now, but at the time I was like, okay, the photo booth would be a big investment. But I saw the person also did like bounce house rentals, gaming rentals, stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I can take like, a few hundred, invest that and see where that goes. And it would be something that people kind of, it has like more appeal, like more people kind of would need a service like that. Like if they
Yeah.
got kids, may need a bounce house, or you got a family reunion, you don't have games or whatever, maybe you need games. So
Right.
I kind of was like, okay, this would be a cool thing to do. This probably a little bit less of the ebb and flow compared to like making beats. So I've been doing that. I started in 2023, I believe, was when I started that. So going into like my third year of doing the events and everything. So that's kind of
Wow.
how I got into it, and now just kind of trying to build on it and just expand from there.
Man. Well, you definitely make it look like it's an easy thing because I just was curious. It's like, well, how did this happen? But that's so cool that because I think a lot of people they have thoughts of doing
Mhm.
things like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, but it's the action behind it that
Oh
really
yeah.
makes it pop off. And so it seems like, at least from what you're saying, the timeline between the thought and then you discussing it with your fiance and then it becoming a reality, it seems like it was kind of short.
Oh yeah, it was very short. And
Okay.
normally I'm an analytical person by nature, so normally I don't like dive into stuff that quick, but it was one of those ideas that it like really struck me and didn't go away. So I was like,
Hmm.
all right, dive in.
Do
So
it.
I
Right. Right.
so I
Yep.
dove in, and from there kind of, learned along the way, had some, ups and downs along the way, just learning how to operate it and all of that
Yeah.
stuff. But it's been good so far, and I'm hoping to make this year, my best year in that aspect.
Wow. Wow. Man, that's dope. Okay. Congratulations.
Appreciate
Okay. Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So I have a couple of segments that I play with everybody during this season. So the first one is called Pick a Card since it's wild card theme.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you four, so we'll pretend like there's a deck of cards. This, to your point, this is one of those moments where it would be really cool to actually have the cards in person. But but if so let's say you have a king of diamonds, king of hearts, king of clubs, and a king of spades.
Hmm.
So of those four cards, you'll tell me which one you'll pick, and I'll give you a hypothetical scenario, and then you tell me how you would respond to it.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the king of spades just because I don't know if you're or I don't
I
know if
love
you're a spades
spades.
player.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
typically when I play it's Joker, Joker, Deuce, Deuce. So
yeah.
that king of spades would, I guess, technically be the highest compared to the other kings. So king of
Okay,
spades.
okay. King of spades, king of spades. All right. So this fits really well with what we just discussed. So with your events business, let's say somebody calls you on, let's say they call you on a
Uh
Wednesday night, and they say, "Hey, I need your services by Saturday.
okay.
How can you make this happen?"
Um Honestly, that's pretty simple. I'm
Really?
ask
Okay.
them,
So
ask them what
okay,
they want.
okay.
Ask them what they want, give them a quote, they send a deposit, and it's good to go.
Oh, okay. So what's the shortest timeline that you've ever had somebody ask you?
uh so normally I typically know like pretty well in advance. The shortest timeline, I say maybe like a weekish, maybe like a week or so in advance.
Okay.
So yeah, typically as long as I don't have to like work or something, like if it's for whatever reason like a weekday event,
Mhm. Okay.
yeah, my schedule's pretty open. So I'm, for some money, yeah, I'll make it
You
happen.
do it right. Right. So in those instances, and even with your beats, like if somebody comes to you kind of on a last minute basis or last minute need,
Mhm.
then it, do you run into people having an expectation that, oh, like, hey, I'm paying for this, and they just want you to move, just like, okay, fast, like, let's go, or like, how do you handle that?
So honestly, with the events, I don't have that kind of stuff because typically it's kind of, they'll reach out to me and then I kind of just gotta wait for the event.
Okay.
So I haven't really had that experience with like events. Kind of the thing that'll happen like with beats, and another reason, one of the other reasons I kind of wanted to get away from production and stuff is like um I'm trying to think of like the best way to say this.
Oh, hey, it's however you want
Um
to say it, it's cool. You good?
so typically it's like the people that spend the least amount of money have the most amount of ask.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So, so it's like it may be somebody that wants like, okay, you want one beat, but okay, I'll quote you a price. You'll say, hey, well, can you do this price? But can you change this? Or they'll want me to do. So typically, like when people ask for beats, I'll just send them stuff that I have. Like I don't do
Okay.
custom beats for
Okay.
people just because I've tried doing it a few times and it always ends up being a headache. So I just, hey, this is what I have. But typically it's just kind of working with people. Like I said, it's not necessarily a turnaround kind of thing, but just dealing with people who, okay, let's say I quote you like $100 for a beat, then you're like, okay, well, can I do 25? Or they'll say, send me some beats that sound like, they may say, okay, send me some beats that sound like Lil Baby. And then I'll send them, or no, they'll say, I'll ask them, okay, what kind of beats do you want?
Oh, do you want, right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So I'll send them like 10 beats and they'll listen. They'll be like, okay, these are good, but actually I want something that sounds like Lil Baby. I'll be like, in my head, I'm like, okay, you could have said that
Take that from jump.
from the
Right.
jump. But yeah, it's just really kind of that part of it. And this really isn't like tied to your question, but also with that
That was
is,
good.
okay, sell the beat to somebody and then half the time like the song never comes out or they never do anything with it, which
Uh,
is cool because like I made money off of it.
right.
That's cool, but at the same time it's like, all right,
People didn't get
I
to
want
hear it.
to, I'm at the point where I want to work with people who are like serious about stuff, so
Mhm.
let's like actually make some actionable moves.
Right. Right. And so if I remember reading correctly, I think one of your posts recently, you mentioned that one of your beats got picked up for a TV placement, right?
Yeah, so again, around 2023, again, just kind of finding different avenues, different things. Like just one thing, I'm always kind of like plotting, scheming, so to speak, on like, okay,
Right.
what's my next move, things like that. Just trying to figure out like how I can like build on what I'm doing. So I have a friend of mine who he's older than me, but we're from the same hometown, but I actually didn't know him there. But we ended up
Oh,
going to the
okay.
same
Gotcha.
college and kind of like knew each other in passing there. Um, and like he had saw like a song I had posted around that time and was like, hey, have you ever heard of sync licensing? This song I think would be dope for sync licensing, which is basically sync licensing is like getting music in TV, film, video games.
Oh,
So like if you watching whatever show you watching, like it could be Love is Blind is on the top of my mind for whatever reason. I don't know
hey,
if you watch that
it's
or
a
not,
popular show because yeah, everybody would know. Yeah, that's a good one.
but like so the music in that show, like long story short, people send in music for
Mm,
like anything you hear on TV. Typically, there's somebody working on the show that says, "I want this song here, this song there, whatever."
okay.
Um, so I kind of started looking into that, um, and then from there. it's been like a kind of long process, but working with different companies who work with the people who put music in shows. And so
Okay.
last year around, I think it was August, was the first time a beat I had made, it got picked up for a show. So it was House Hunters
That's amazing.
on HGTV. So just again, just trying to
Wow.
find more streams of income and just something
Yeah.
else to do with my music versus having it sitting on my computer.
Wow. Wow. Congratulations. That's
Appreciate
awesome.
it.
Everybody can't say that they have song placement on the show. And I love House Hunters. So
Okay.
it's funny. I may have actually seen the episode and didn't realize that was your song. But that's really cool.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. All right. So this is another segment or question I've been asking everybody this season. So this is called Two Truths and a Lie, but it's a little bit different than the old school game. So basically, you'll tell me two truths about either about your events business or being a producer or rapper, anything like that. And then one thing that you feel is a lie people in your field believe that they shouldn't believe.
Okay. Okay. Let me hold on. I got to think about that a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm telling you basically two truths about something and then one thing that people believe but is actually a lie.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
I got it. Sorry, I'm trying to...
No, you good. And if you want to think and then we come back to it, we can do that too.
Let's come back to it.
Okay, we'll come back to it. Okay, so so this part I'm really curious because I have no idea. Sometimes I meet people and even virtually I can guess. And even doing this podcast, I'm not into the zodiac signs as far as like deep into it. It's more so like surface.
Yeah.
But when because I don't know. Sometimes I'll talk to people and I'll try to guess, like, okay, I think they might be this sign or this sign. So I don't know what I have a couple of guesses where I think it might be, but I could be wrong. I don't know. So when is your birthday?
My birthday is July 2nd.
Oh, okay. Believe it or not, that was one of my guesses.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason I say that, and I've said this several times on the show, whenever I click with somebody or they seem like real cool or kind of right off the bat, usually most times they're going to be a Cancer or a Gemini.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool. Okay. So July 2nd. So Cancer. Okay.
Yep.
So, wow. Okay. So there's a lot of things I guess I could ask about Cancer. Well, first, let me ask you, what are your thoughts on the zodiac, and do you feel like it shows up in your life in any way?
So honestly, I'm not big into zodiacs just because personally, I believe it's a lot of times they're just kind of general.
Okay.
So it's like it easily applies to a lot of people. Just some of the stuff the signs will say is like it really is kind of everyday everybody kind of stuff. Even with like me being a Cancer, I would say some people will say like Cancers are creative. So in that aspect, I would guess that I kind of fall in line with that. But on the other hand, like a lot of times I'll tell people my sign and they'll be like, oh, you're a Cancer. Like they would never really imagine it because a lot of times Cancers are also known as like being like emotional or whatever. And I'm not an emotional person.
Really? So you don't think you at all? You wouldn't say?
So I put it like this. I'm kind of like, I'm either one side all the way or the other side all the way, in the sense that like, so like when I do music and stuff, that's probably when I get my most quote emotional or vulnerable, because that's like when I'm really like thinking deeply on stuff. But like I don't really externally show a lot of emotion. Not on purpose.
Yeah, it just happens that way.
Yeah, I'm like very, very mellow, very level headed. Like this room, God forbid, could be on fire, and I'd be kind of like,
Chill.
like, I should probably get out of here, but
Right, it's getting hot.
yeah, a little warm. But
Okay. So that's so I'll tell you then. I feel like there are certain zodiac signs that I have really good experience with because I'm surrounded by so many of them, and one of them is Cancer.
Okay.
So I would say the things I've noticed about cancers, and you can kind of tell me if you. I'll just give you three things. If you think this is maybe you or not you, or maybe just general. I've never met a Cancer that can't cook. Never. Like all Cancers I know can cook, and not just like, oh yeah, that was decent, not just like you just putting the pizza in the oven. Like, no, you can. Most Cancers I know, they can cook well.
Okay, I'm not on that level yet.
You're not okay. You're not.
No,
Okay.
not quite.
Okay, got you. Okay, and so with the emotions, I think Cancers are kind of misunderstood in that way because the way I see it is, I think Cancers are emotional, but meaning that you're able to articulate your emotions well. You're able to articulate how you feel well. Whereas, like for me, like I'm an Aquarius, I know how I feel, and I got a lot of stuff jumbled up there. But to other people, it comes across sometimes as like, well, damn, he don't care, or like he just, yeah, just like kind of nonchalant or whatever. But that's not the case. It's just sometimes I have a hard time getting it from my head and then conveying that information to people. So I think Cancers are really good at that. And then Cancers are also highly intuitive. So I've been in situations where I've had Cancer friends, Cancer family, whatever. And if they say something like, oh, well, you should watch out for that person, or maybe you should do, or any kind of like thing where they have a feeling or a bad vibe about something, I'm probably going to go with it because in my experience, when I haven't, I'd be like, damn, they told me this is coming to happen. So it's like, it's almost kind of like y'all are, I don't want to say psychic, but it's borderline, yeah,
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Do you feel, so you said not the cooking so much, but the other two, do you feel like that relates to you in any way?
Yeah, I feel like with as far as like the expressing emotion, that's something I had to kind of like learn how to do externally or with other people.
Okay.
Like I think it's always been there, but it's always been something that I've been better at, like with myself, versus over time, like just getting older, learning how to do that externally. And then like as far as being intuitive, I would say so. I
Okay.
think like even in like my actual profession, part of my job, I feel like this is in line with being intuitive, but like, so I'm a data analyst, but I also have to provide insights. So I kind of have to look at the trends of things or figure out, okay, yeah, what's coming up, what should we do, what should we not do. So yeah, I think I would say that's probably pretty accurate.
Huh. Okay. That's what's up. Okay. So this is, of course, wild card season. So I'm not doing everything traditional like I usually do every show. So since we're coming back to the two truths and a lie question, I'm gonna jump to the segment that I usually save for last. And so this is called Dead in the Water. And so I'll give you 5 this or that questions. And instead of telling me the one you like the best, you'll tell me the one that you would throw back in the water, or the one you like the least. So if I say like chicken or fish, let's say you like fish better, you would say throwing a chicken in the water. Okay. All right. So this first one is analyze or strategize. Between these two things, which one would you throw away?
That's tough because I feel like you have to analyze to strategize effectively.
Okay.
But if I had to throw one out, I would, I guess, throw out Strategize.
Okay. And more for the analyze. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay. All right. So I know you know music, so I had to throw a couple of comparisons in there.
Okay.
So between these two artists, who are you getting rid of? Summer Walker or Ari Lennox?
I gotta say Summer Walker. She gotta go. Respectfully, respect
I'm
to
with
her.
you. I'm with you, honestly. I love it's kind of gets on my nerves a little bit with Ari Lennox because to me, it's just my opinion. I don't know if you agree or not, but she's been consistent every project. Like they
Mm-hmm.
all are fire. And so it kind of gets on my nerves when I hear people say, like, oh, she finally got one. I'm like, finally, like she been popping since like what 2017, 20 to me at least. I've been liking her music that since she first came out. Summer Walker, I like her too, but she's a little bit more hit or miss for me. And then it's a little too sad. Some of it is like, okay.
Yeah, like Summer Walker to me is kind of, it's good. It's good music, but it's hard for me to listen to a whole project of hers because it's all kind of very mellow or sleepy
Yeah,
kind of.
one no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Now Ari, the second or Age Sex Location, I guess the second album, I
Yeah.
wasn't as big a fan of that one.
Really?
Shea Butter Baby, classic.
Oh, yeah, yeah, okay.
This
Now I would
this
put Shea Butter Baby above that one. So I'm with
Vacancy, I gotta live with it a little bit. It's up there in the Shea Butter Baby territory.
okay.
But ASL, Age Sex Location, for me, that just wasn't, it wasn't, honestly, I'm trying to think, like, I just don't remember a lot on that album standing out to me for whatever reason.
Okay, and that's fair because to me that's the mark of a good album is once the hype goes down,
Mm-hmm.
you remember the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, they both are great, but yeah, I gotta toss
Get rid of
Summer
some.
back. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I know the Carolinas are known for this, but I want to see which one you pick out of these two. So barbecue or tacos?
Oh, barbecue.
You
I mean, sorry, if I got to get rid of one, I'm getting rid of tacos.
Oh, okay. I was going to be shocked. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you keeping the barbecue, get rid
Yeah,
of the tacos.
got to. Like the barbecue, that's a staple. Like just grilling out,
Okay.
cookouts and stuff like that in the summer, or hell, it might. This year was different, but I've seen people grilling out on Christmas before, depending on the weather. So
I can see that.
I gotta go barbecue. Tacos gotta go. I'm keeping the barbecue.
True. Okay. I got you. All right. So between these two types of beats, a trap beat or an R&B beat, which one are you throwing away?
I'm gonna throw away the trap beat.
Okay.
Just for me, I would say, and like I love trap music and trap beats, but I feel like a lot of that trap sound hasn't really evolved in a while. Versus, I feel like R&B is kind of like having a resurgence the last 5 years or so.
It is.
So I gotta toss the trap beat just because I feel like that is getting a little stale on that side right now.
Okay. I got you. All right. Okay. So this is the last one. And this is also as it pertains to music, but more so with you being a rapper.
Okay.
So one take in the studio or as many takes as it takes?
I'm tossing as many takes as it takes.
Okay. So you want to just get in.
I want it one take.
Record it and be done. Okay.
Because I kind of look at myself like, so I like study a lot of artists and stuff. So a lot of, which I know technology plays a big part in it, but back in the day, the rappers, like in the 2000s when I was coming up, they would do their verses in one take. Like it wasn't like, all right, we got to do 1,000.
These multiple,
yeah. But like you go in knowing your verse, like like I write my stuff down. I don't freestyle and just make it up as I go. So my goal, if I'm doing it, is to do it in one take. But if I don't like the take, yes, I'll redo it. But I go in with the plan of doing the whole thing straight through.
Gotcha. Okay. That's dope. Okay. So, all right. So now we'll go back to the two truths, and it doesn't have to be anything big. Just just things that you maybe think of along the way. Before the two truths and a lie, what would you say for those?
Okay, so I'm just gonna talk about like making music in general, if that's cool.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
The first truth is, I would say, you got to spend money to make money. Like a lot of times, and look, I get it. Money's tight, stuff is crazy, and like even I've had to like build up little by little over time. But at the same time, you can't like. Sometimes you just got to spend the money, and there's people who, okay, maybe don't want to spend money on beats or don't want to spend money on whatever it could be. Like I'll talk to producers and they'll be like, oh, because like sometimes on TikTok I'll like show me making a beat or whatever, and producers may hit me up and say, oh, how'd you make that beat, da da da, and I'll be like, well, I got this like plug-in or this sound kit or whatever. They'll be like, oh, okay, cool, I just got the basic stock sounds, which I'm not knocking that, but at some point you gotta
like evolve past
yeah, like at some point, if you want to get a certain sound, a certain quality, you gotta spend the money. So that would be my first truth. You just gotta spend the money, and sometimes, hey, it might be a while before you get it back.
Right.
Okay. Second truth in terms of like making music. I think networking is key. Like one thing I've had to learn, even because I'm naturally an introvert. So like I could sit in the house and just work on music all the time and be fine and just post it. But that's not really, these days, it's not going to get you anywhere just because it's so much stuff online. It's so much you're competing with online. Like you got to really have people that want to support you, want to work with you, want to share your music, and just people to bounce ideas off of. So the second truth I would say is just you got to get outside. You got to meet people. You got to connect with people. Yeah, you just gotta. It's almost like you got to build your allies in case something happens. You got to have people that want to pull for you and want to see you win.
Right, I love that. That's dope. Okay.
And then the lie, I would say, and I'm gonna say this just because we kind of mentioned it earlier or whatever, talking about like the TV placement. Because after I had posted that, there were people like kind of hitting me up about it, asking me about it and stuff like that. And like some people look at music in general or like sync licensing specifically as like kind of I can like, this is like a quick lick or whatever. And that's not the case, because even so with that placement, and it works differently in different situations, but like for that beat that I got on HGTV, there was no upfront payment for that just because of the way like typically reality TV shows, and I'm going like too in depth, but typically if it's like a smaller budget show like a House Hunters where it's like reality TV, they're not spending a lot of money on that show. So one, I didn't get paid up front. Two, the way the music industry works, it like something could happen in music, and it's honestly one of the things you see happen with like a lot of artists is like, even if you get a hit or a song is taken off, it may be 6, 9, 12 months before you get a dime off of the song, just because the music industry pays out in quarters. Like, so like there's a payment coming up in like February, and then it'll be May, August, whatever. So I say that to say it's 99 times out of 100, there's nothing in music that is going to be like a quick lick or a quick bag or
right.
Like, you got to be patient, do the work, and then just hope something happens.
Right. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. I didn't know about the quarterly payouts like that because I know with 'cause I write books and kind of for that same reason as you just said, I prefer to sell them on my website because if I just rely on Amazon, I'm only getting the quarterly pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
makes sense.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Wow. That's interesting. Man, what? Hey, well, Will, man, this has been great. You definitely given a lot of insight, the music business, and then I think to people too for continuing to start. Well, not continuing to start, but continuing to push for whatever their goals are. And I think the timing of this episode is perfect too, because I feel like February people kind of start trickling off some of their
Yeah,
resolutions.
yeah.
So I think from hearing you, I think it's going to fire people up. I know I'm fired up hearing some of the things you said with some things that I have that I want to do. So I think it's going to fire up other people too to not just talk about it, but actually be about it.
Yeah. Hey, you can't make a shot you don't shoot.
Yeah, yeah, true. Yeah, that's what's
But no,
up.
I appreciate you having me, man. This was fun. Like I don't
Oh, good.
like I
Okay,
said, I
I'm
don't
glad to
get
know that.
I used to do this. And I just, haven't had a chance to do anything like this in a while. So yeah, it was fun, man. I appreciate you having me.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, thanks for being on, and thanks for everybody for watching, for tuning in. As I mentioned, it'll be next week. We'll be back same time. Oh, and before I let you go, Will, is there anything you want to share with the viewers and the listeners before we head out?
I mean, She Will for Will on all social platforms. Oh, really quickly, because I saw you had this is my fault. This isn't on you. You
Uh
had my TikTok is Will Willie.
huh.
And so my actual TikTok username is She Will for Will, but I guess you can like change your
Oh,
name
when
on there.
okay.
And honestly, I need to change it, but the Will Willie was a joke off of like,
Oh,
if
okay.
you remember the song, it was kind of popular middle of last year. It was like Wham Whammy, like on
Yeah,
TikTok.
yeah.
I just made it Will Willie as a joke and never changed it. So that's on
Okay,
me.
I'm gonna
Um,
change that in the description then for the video.
but yeah, She Will for Will follow me. I've been slacking on my posting this year, just working on different stuff, but I'm gonna get back on it. But
That's what's up.
yeah, that's really all I got.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, well, thank you again, Will. And I appreciate you. Thanks again for taking out time in your busy schedule. And thanks everybody for tuning in and watching too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Appreciate it.
All right. Peace.
All right, peace.